Hello guys, welcome back to my channel again. My name is Arslan and today we are on day 30 seconds of solving the Python object oriented programming system questions with the help of Python. So as we have already solved so many questions previously, we have prepared you another question for you that is on multi-level inheritance. So we will be discussing the concept of multi-level inheritance. Moreover, we will be solving question on multi-level inheritance, and we will be understanding in depth what is multi-level concept is. So multi-level inheritance we will be understanding in depth with some example and also doing some question based on it. So guys, if you are very new to this playlist, let me give you a very brief introduction of what this playlist is all about. So in this playlist we have been solving question based on Python object oriented programming system questions. So as we started from a very basic question, as you can see on the screen that I have solved a question on simple class and attributes on day 1, then we have moved on to day 3, day 2 and day 4, day 5, and then we just have increased the bar like anything, and we came up on to day 31 where we have lastly solved the question on multiple inheritance. Now today I have introduced a new concept of multi-level inheritance, and we will be discussing the concept of multiple inheritance today. So we have already discussed about single inheritance, multiple inheritance, and we will be moreover discussing on hierarchical inheritance, hybrid inheritance too. So if you are very new to this playlist and this channel, so please do subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, press the bell icon button, and bookmark the playlist so that you can get the updates from the channel. So let's start this tutorial with the multi-level inheritance and understand the concept of what is multi-level inheritance. So in multi-level inheritance, a class can inherit from a derived class which itself is derived from another class. It creates a hierarchical structure of inheritance. Example, a grandchild also inheriting from child class which in turn inherits from a parent class. So if I give you a very brief let's say brief structure of what is uh, the multiple inheritance, let I have already means did one a code here. If I just uncomment this, you will be seeing a code here based on multiple inheritance, sorry, multi-level inheritance. So don't get confused between a multiple inheritance and multi-level inheritance. So from it name itself it says multi-levels, means it has multiple levels. So first level it's parent, second is child, third is grandchild, and so on and so on, so forth. So guys, see, this is the basic structure. First is a parent class, then it inherits from a child, inherits from a parent class, and the grandchild inherits from a child. So it's a hierarchy. Like child means if you have a parent, you might have inherited something from him or her. Similarly, your child will inherit from you and your parent, right? So that's the structure. So your child, if you might have a child, if you may have a child, so your child your child will be grandchild, and you will be child, and your parent will be grandchild. So that's the structure of the code. So I hope that you have understood the structure of the code, that what is the structure of multi-level inheritance. So it's a basic structure. Let's say we have created a parent class called this. So we have display name here, then we have age here, then we have hobby here. So if I just create a basic structure and run this code, you see that grandchild is equals to John, age, hobby, playing guitar. Child is equal to John, age 12, and parent John. So you can see as while running the code, you are seeing the outcome of the code, that the grandchild gives us the outcome as this, and child gives us this, and parent gives us this. So I hope that you have understood this. So let's see what is the code here. So in parent class we have just used an instance attribute here, and then we have used a method which displays the parent. All right, so this was easy part. If you just focus on this part, that is class parent, it is just displaying one thing, that is the one method that is to display a name, and we have only use one instance attribute. Similarly, that instance attribute has been inherited the child class in from the parent class in child class. So child class we have created, which is inherited from the parent class, that is name, which has been inherited. Moreover, it has included its own instance attribute, that is age. As you can see on the screen, that it has one more instance attribute, that is age. So it already had a name attribute, which has been inherited from the parent class. So it is now creating a method def display child, and then it displays child and name, sorry, age and name. Similarly, in grandchild it has three attributes. One is name from the parent class, and since it has a child class also has a name, so it is inheriting name from the parent class, that is child. So the child grandchild parent is child, and it is also a parent of it has also a parent of parent. So child is also a parent of grandchild, and parent is also a parent of grandchild. Now we have name, age, and hobby. So it has one more attribute yet again in the grandchild. So while we create a method display grandchild, it will be displaying name, age, and hobby. Now if you just create an instance here, grandchild is equal to grandchild. So grandchild is what? Grandchild in instance attribute, is a third child, I mean second child. This is parent, this is first child, and the grandchild is second child. So we are creating an instance of second child, that is grandchild. Now we are displaying a name here, we are displaying the age here, and we are putting the hobby here. So we are putting three attributes here. Now while we just run this code here, the grandchild dot display grandchild dot display child, grandchild dot display parent. So as you can see that it can run both all of the methods from its parent class. So it has only one method, right? We have only written one method, but it can also run the method from the parent classes. So that's the quality of the inheritance, that we can run the method of the parent class. So as you can see, we can run the method of the parent class. So I hope that you have understood this concept. We will be doing some question based on this. So today I have prepared one question based on this. We will be doing more question on the upcoming days, but today we will be solving only one. So while we do this question, you will be understanding the concept in a better way. So let's start this question and do some question on this. So one question we will be doing today, we will be doing more question in the upcoming days. So let's start this question. The question says create a child create a let's read this question first. uh, Create a class called animal with an instance with an attribute species. Implement a method called display species that prints out the species of the animal. So we have to create a class called animal with an attribute species. So let's create. So this is our parent class. So we'll be just writing here parent class. Parent class. Now we have to create it as, what is the name? We have to create it as animal. Animal. Now we will be writing instance attribute here def init. Now in def init we will be just introducing the name or species. So we have to write species here, species, and we will be saying self dot species is equals to species. Now we have to create a method based on it. So species that print out the species of the animal. So def what is the name? Display species. So the name of the method is display species, and we will be closing it by parenthesis, and inside those parentheses we will be taking self here and close it by colon here. Now after putting colon we will be putting enter here, and then now we will be just returning the f string here, and inside f string we will be just putting the name of the species. The species is colon here, and then we will be just putting curly braces self dot species. So that is our parent class. Now next, let's see what they're asking us to do next. So create a child class called mammal that inherits from the animal class. Add an additional attribute milk production to the animal class. So as you can see, we have to introduce an additional attribute called milk production to the mammal class. We have to create a mammal class as our child class, implement a method called display milk production that prints out the milk production ability of the mammal. Let's do this. So we have child class 1. Now why I'm writing child class 1, because as you can see, previously we were having multiple parents. We were not having multiple child, right? So right now we have multiple child, which means that it does not mean that the child is inheriting from only one parent. It will be having a hierarchy of child. So this is child class 1, then we will creating child class 2, child class 3, which will be like uh, child, grandchild, great grandchild, and so on so forth. So now we are creating child class 1, which is class mammal. Now this is the name of the child class, so we will be closing it by parenthesis, and inside those parentheses we will be writing the name of the parent class. The name of the parent class is animal. Now if I we have to just write definite here, and automatically it will be writing us the instance attribute with the closing super init and all that, all those of stuff. So we have already discussed the concept of what is super init is, and let's make a quick revision of what is super is. It helps us to just include the functionality, the attributes, the methods of the parent class inside our child class. So it allows us to just include the functionality of the parent class inside our child class. So we can now use a species attribute and display species method in our child class with the help of super init. So now let's create another attribute, that is milk production, which I have copy pasted from the above section. Milk production is another instance attribute here. Now we will be writing self dot milk production and is equals to milk production. This is our instance, another instance attribute which they have asked us to create. Now next what we have to do, we have to create another method which will be just applicable for mammal right now, and will be not applicable to parent. So we can only apply it to mammal right now. So let's run this, and display milk production. Display display milk production is the name of the class, method, which we are going to create, and we have created here a display milk production, and inside that we have to return the milk production. So f string, we will be writing f string here, close it by double inverted commas here, and then we will be writing the milk production, milk production colon, and we will be putting curly braces here and self dot milk production. All right, so now we have to create another child class, but just before that, this is our first class on multi-level inheritance. So I am creating the instance right now, so that while we create the instance for our grandchild, we will have a better understanding of how these things are working. So if I create a mammal here, let's say a is equals to, or set, let's say elephant is equals to mammal, and then this is a child class, and it is taking two attributes. First is species, so let's say x is the species, and then milk production is, let's say 12 is the milk production. I don't know what does milk production really means. So milk production, and elephant, print elephant dot name, and elephant dot not name, it's species, I guess. Yeah, so we have to give the species. Let's write it species here instead of x, species x instead of species, instead of x. So elephant dot display milk production, not the method. I will be writing the milk production. So milk production. So if I run this, you will be seeing that I may just comment down the upper section of the code so that I do not get those code run. Now let's comment this here, and so that I only get the code which I want to run. See species X and 12, I'm getting the answer. So if I want to run the method of the animal class, so I can also do that. So what is the name of the animal class? It's display species and close it by parenthesis. And similarly, I can also run it for display milk production. And if I run this, you can see we can also run the method of both the classes. While we do not have it inside our mammal class, the display species is not inside our mammal class, but it has been inherited from our parent class. That's why we are able to run this. All right, now next what we will be doing, we will be creating another child class. So let's see what they are asking us to do next. Child class 2. So let's read out what they are asking us next. Create a grandchild called class called human that inherits from mammal class. Add an additional attribute to the human class. Implement a method called display info that prints out the name, species, and milk production ability of the human. So we have to create another child, that is our grandchild. So class, what will be the name of the class? That is human. And since it's a child class, we will be closing it by parenthesis, and inside those parentheses we will be putting what? Name of the parent class. So the what will be the name of the parent class? Now it's not the we will be not putting animal, we will be putting mammal here, because the parent of the human will be mammal. All right, so this is already a class of parent is already animal is already class of parent class of mammal. Now we are creating a hierarchy. So mammal will be the parent class of human. So I hope that you have understood this. So now let's create method here, definite. So now you can see that we have two instance attribute. We have to create one another, that is name. Self dot name is equals to name. Now we will be creating a method here, display name, and since it's a method, closing by parenthesis and writing returning the value display name will be returning the value f string, the name uh, curly braces self dot name. Now we have elephant as our mammal. So now we have created an instance for our child class 1. Now ultimately what we have to do, as per the question, create an instance of the human class with the specific name, species, and milk production ability, call the display info method to print out the information of the human. So now we have to accordingly to the question, we have to create an instance based on the human child. So we will be creating a child class. So let's say Arsalan is equals to human. Now we have to put three attributes here. So first of all, it's the species. So let's say species is species y is the name of the attribute, species attribute. Now milk production, let's say it's 15, and then what is the name, let's say Arsalan, and print, I can print out the method. So print out the method display name, so it will be printing me display name here. As you can see, display name, so name is Arsalan. And if you want to print different values, you can just print various species, various methods from each class if you want to, or if you want to include it all the attributes in one single method, you can also do that in creating a method and putting all the attributes in one, like species, milk production and name, in one single method, and then just calling the method below. So we did this, we print the value according to the question what they asked. You can just try various things so that you have better idea of what we do in multi-level inheritance. So I hope that you have understood this logic behind the multi-level inheritance. And this was all for today. If you have liked the tutorial and understood the concept with my tutorial and with my teaching, please do subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, press the bell icon button, and bookmark the playlist so that you can get the updates from the channel. Thank you guys for watching this video, and see you next time.